Okay, hello everybody. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Brianne and this is Bree's Knits. I'm here at the Pomona Fairplex for the first ever SoCal Fiber Fair. Here we are. That is the building it's at. If you're familiar with Los Angeles or the area, the Pomona Fairplex is where we hold the LA County Fair every year. So here we are heading over to building 6. I'm gonna try to vlog as much as I can today, just because it's its first ever. So that's really exciting. I felt a huge FOMO with Rhinebeck, so exciting stuff. So hoping to take you guys along with me. My husband and my baby are here with me. So we'll see how much I'll be able to wildly buy yarn. We'll see you guys in a little bit. Bye. Okay, everybody, so we are inside the fair. Sorry for the shaking hands in advance. The first booth that we see here is Hands On Knitting Center. It is a local-ish yarn store to me. It's still a bit of a distance drive-wise, but they carry a lot of Manos del Uruguay. They carry Lana Grossa and just a lot of other big box brands. They do have a great varied selection, and I was very impressed by all of their samples, as you can see here. So the next booth we have here is U2 Yarn. It is beautiful. They had an amazing selection and variety of colors. They had a lot of kits, and they also had this really big daddy of a skein where it was technically 5 skeins together. We'll see it in a little bit. This is a cute little sheep. Anyway, the colors were great. This is the big daddy I was talking about. It's technically 5 skeins together. They conveniently put together 5 different colors, so that way it makes you choosing your colors for color work easier. So this next booth we have here is called Oink Pigments. I really enjoyed this swatch area. It made looking at the colors and the variegated yarns a lot easier. Even my husband saw some that stood out to him, which I knew that in the skein probably wouldn't have. My camera wasn't focusing, so that was annoying. But anyway, here are some of the yarns. I was really impressed with the color selection. I didn't buy anything just because, again, I was sticking to my budget and my projects, but I thought these were really pretty. My husband really liked that yellow one. And then they had a ton of mini skeins. I really wanted to get some. There was this really beautiful burgundy-ish red color there. Here we are. They're little pigtails, they call them. Absolutely adorable. I was in love with a lot of the colors. This was before I had a plan, so I was like in love with this specific red. I wanted it so bad. I will probably end up following this dyer and just eventually buy it myself. This beautiful color selections. And the next dyer we have here is Super Glow Fibers. I did end up getting a yarn from here, but you'll see that later. Next up was the row of competitions. So as you see here, there are some embroidery. Absolutely adorable. I love this little Aussie. It just made me smile. But everyone's talent is so amazing. The winner was this snitch embroidery. It was absolutely beautiful. I can't embroider, so I was thoroughly impressed by every single one of them. Okay, and then can we please talk about, hold on, these skeins of yarn. They are absolutely beautiful. I wanted some to take home with me. They were gorgeous. I love the spinning. It just looked so beautiful and like not done by hand. These are also some other, what do you call them? Well, I'll just say contestants. I forgot what they're called, but contestants for these competitions. So I realized I actually wanted to say entries. Anyway, here are the Cowls and Scarves competition. That Pac-Man one was my husband's favorite, and I really liked this owl one. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I don't really do too much color work, so I'm very always impressed by anyone who does color work. And also this pumpkin's cute. Adorable. Next up we have Walcut Yarns. Walcut. I love the colors. They were beautiful, vibrant. Those like rusty colors tend to pop out. I mean, also the blues and the greens from any Indian dyer tends to pop out. So I had to come over and take a look. And of course, next up we have the famous Buku yarns. I had to make a stop by. I've seen the store online before, but I've never been able to drive there just because it's a bit of a distance from me. But what really caught my attention was their mini skein buffet, mostly because I want to make the Daft Days cardigan, so I had to stop by. Hey everybody, welcome again. So I just finished going around the Fiber Festival, or Fiber Fair technically, but I got quite a few things, so I wanted to go ahead and share that with you guys. I'm kind of a bit a ways from the camera, so hopefully you guys can kind of see. If not, I definitely encourage you to go check out these vendors individually and take a look at what they have. So first things first, I got this gorgeous blue yarn from Super Glow Fiber. She's based in Temecula, California, I believe. It's called Sapphire. So I got the sock base. There's 463 yards for 100 grams. I believe the amount was $30 for a skein, which I thought was pretty well. Oh, it's actually hand dyed in Scottsdale. For some reason, I thought she was in the Inland Empire for a bit. But Scottsdale, Arizona. It's a super beautiful blue yarn. I gave myself a budget before coming in here, and I also included, I think I mentioned this earlier, I also included my, oh no, I did that on my Instagram stories, whatever. But I gave myself a budget, and I included our tickets and parking into that budget. So I was like, okay, I wanted to get a sweater quantity, but I was just like, you know what? It's beautiful. It's a beautiful bright color. I can definitely work up plenty of Jessie May types of designs with this blue, or I can do a shawl. Like, I've been really into this blue, like this really bright blue. I think even Knitting for Olive has like the blue poppy that I really, really like and enjoy. I haven't gotten it yet, but hopefully soon. But I definitely love this blue. So this is the only purchase I made that had no plan and is not coordinating with any other colors, but it's absolutely beautiful. So the next few yarns that I purchased were with the intentions of making the Daft Days cardigan by the Creabea, or Rebecca Clow, I believe is how you pronounce it. So I got a lot of the vendors here had mini skeins, like a lot of mini skeins. So one of them that I had gone to, I'm like really excited. This is the first Fiber Festival I've ever been to. There's another one in like more Northern California. I think it's called Dixon, California. But that's quite a bit of a ways from me. This festival was only maybe like a 45 minute drive from me, so it's not too bad. But anyway, so a lot of the vendors who are here are from California. And it just made me really excited. I'm also very shy, so I didn't chat too much with a lot of people, even though I had a cold brew this morning and I'm definitely hopped up on it. But I definitely had asked some vendors for some help picking out colors, because I purchased the Ireland collection from Explore Knits and Fibers when she came out with it. So I have this one. I got the variegated pack in the sock yarn, the cashmere sock yarn. So there's this one color, it's like Irish, I think it's Irish Heather. It's like the pinkish color. It's like pink and has like these purples and oranges and yellows that are very like subtle in there. And I kind of, with the Daft Days, I wanted to highlight some of those colors and also use that yarn because I still haven't used my Ireland yarn yet, just because life, so I don't have that much time, which is fine, you know. Knitting's a slow craft anyway, but I will go through them. I got these skeins. The first vendor I got the mini skeins from was from Silver Pennies. The colorway is called Mariposa. It's a yak and ewe sock yarn. So it has 70% yak, 70 merino, 20 yak, and 10% nylon. It has 87 yards and 20 grams. And it's a beautiful, I will probably have to show you guys again because we're fighting with light here. It's 4 o'clock as I'm recording this, so sun is setting. But it's a beautiful rust color that kind of has like deeper tones throughout it. It's like all of these ones have different textures to it. So I know that the cardigan is going to be like absolutely amazing with all of these mixes of different yarns. The next yarn, I forgot what the vendor was called already. She didn't have labels on these. Yeah, I'm only thinking of Oink Pigments, but that's not what these are from. They were across the way from Oink Pigments. I have a map, so hopefully I'll be able to write it in. But it's this fingering weight yarn. It's yellow, but it has it's slightly variegated, so it has like bits of like a darker brown, like very earthy yellow. So it has like bits of like a copper, a brown, and I just think it would look really beautiful paired with the orange. So I got these two based off of each other first, and then this next one I'm actually really excited about. I also don't remember. I think the yellow yarn has 87 yards in it. I think it was also 20 grams. And it's funny how like each of them are priced differently. I mean, it's probably due to the content. These ones, the Yak sock yarns were $8 for the minis. This yellow one, I believe is it was 80 merino, 20 nylon. These ones were $5 each for 87 yards. These next one, I am absolutely in love with this company now. I think all of their yarns were beautifully dyed, very squishy, huge squish factor, and they had different sheep fibers as well. Absolutely gorgeous. They also had sport weight, which I feel like a lot of indie dyers don't have too, well, maybe not a lot, maybe that's not fair. The ones I've seen, I haven't seen too many sport weight dyed yarn. So this one's called Sincere Sheep. I loved the vibe and energy of that booth too. This one's a Cormo fingering weight yarn. There is no color name on it, but it's 125 yards. I can't tell you the weight right now, but it's this beautiful purple color. It's got it's like slightly variegated as well. Again, I'm probably gonna have to show you guys on a different day, or probably take a picture of it and then put it on Instagram. But those are all of the ones together. I feel like they definitely have a beautiful contrast with the Irish Heather yarn, but also will come together very nicely in the cardigan. So the last one, I was looking for a like brownish taupe color that would probably look good on me, but also play well with the other colors. So there weren't really minis that would look good with it, but I definitely needed at least, in keeping in mind the Irish Heather as well, I definitely needed at least 316 yards left. Based on Rebecca's measurements most of the time, or most of the sizes that she tends to make, I'm about the same. So I kind of just used the amount that she used, and I was doing some math during our little break sit down, and I needed 316 yards left. So I had came across this other wonderful vendor. Their name is Gems Luxe Fibers. A lot of their yarn is based on Greek mythology, or like the names anyway. So I was looking at their regular yarn, and I turn around and I see their sale yarn. So I got a 100 gram skein that has 463 yards in it for $25. It's on their Fab Sock base, so it's 75%. I have no idea what mic is. 19.5 mic, superwash merino. Oh, okay. 75% merino, 25% nylon. Sorry, the colorway is called Chocolate Opal. It's definitely a lighter brown with, it feels like a purple tone brown, if that makes sense, because it looked really good with the purple that I purchased from the other vendor. And it just looks, it definitely is that opal color with like chocolate milk opal kind of feeling that I was getting. But that's for the Daft Days cardigan. So I made out pretty well and spent $45 less than my budget. So I'm really grateful for all the vendors that had all these minis and all the options. Also the one that had 125 grams was $10 as well. But each of these are meant for the Daft Days cardigan. I'll probably come up again and show you. And Super Glow. on its own. Yeah, I'll have to show you right now. Everything in it was great. I think the only thing that was a downside, which really isn't the organizers' fault, were the food vendors. There was one truck we went to, we saw they had a breakfast burrito and we wanted a breakfast burrito, but one of the girls was like, hey, to the cook, do you want to make one? And he said no, and she's like, sorry, we're all out. So I was like, that's kind of rude. Like, it's not even that you guys are out of stuff, it's just that you don't want to do it. And it wasn't even like there was a lot of people there, it was pretty slow. So I don't know, that just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And then we went to another one and they did make the breakfast burrito, but as we're eating it, I got those plastic like bread tie things in the burrito. So that was not great. I thought it was like a really hard stale tortilla at first, and it ended up being just the plastic bit on bread containers. So that was awful. But other than that, the event went really well. It was indoors. It was indoors. In Southern California, we still had an event indoors, even though typically, I mean, today, this weekend actually is kind of cold. But typically we have sunny days and we don't really have that many rainy days. So I feel like if other festivals are in not so warm weather, and you know that, it should be prepared for those kind of conditions. But that's besides the point, because I didn't go to that one. But also I'm judging from like the other side of the country. But I'm going to leave it here. Overall, like I said, experience was really great. The volunteers were really great and really nice. They did some raffles. We did enter the raffle. I did not win. I never win raffles, so that's fine. That's nothing new. But I am ready to go home now and enjoy the squish. I will not be working on this for a while, probably. I have my baby's Moby sweater. I have the second sleeve. I'm almost finished with it. I need to finish that first. And then I promised my husband to make him one for Christmas. And with, the time with the baby, that's probably not going to be done in time for Christmas. And I also wanted to do some gift knitting. So my Daft Days is definitely going to have to wait, but that's fine because I also have to get a whole like base yarn anyway for all of these colors. I have no idea if you'll be able to see any of this, but I'm going to run up to the camera and show you guys the different yarns right now. Okay. Bye. See you next time. Bye.